Our project was for Info 150. The class is called Mathematical Foundations for Informatics. So just as a brief overview of our reusable learning object, we decided to do a lesson plan that presented these combinatorics topics in relation to real-world examples. So in the RLO, we cover rule of product, rule of sum, and rule of complement, combinations and permutations, binary sequences and the bag problem, circle permutations, and combinatorial reasoning. We thought that this would be a good idea for a project because many students often struggle to connect foundational concepts to the real world, or they don't feel motivated by basic material that's important to know for more advanced areas of study. So we kind of just wanted to try to make these topics a little more interesting by presenting them as we considered real world problems that relate to these topics and then going into how they can be solved by the tools that we're learning. To demo our RLO, I'm just going to show you a small section because a lot of content is covered by this lesson plan, so it would be kind of hard to go into detail for the entire RLO. So here's one of the topics that's covered by the lesson plan, combinations. First, we introduce what a combination is, giving both an English definition and the notation for it. So we tell the students that there's an important notation named CNR, which denotes the number of possible ways to choose R elements out of a set with size n. Then we give an example of how to use this notation. So we ask how many 5-person can be formed from the 100-member US Senate. So here we have a set of 100 people, and we need to choose 5 people from the set. So we can write C105 as our answer. At this point, we would present another problem to the students. Here, we encourage students to work with their peers in a problem-solving session to find the solution. After the short session, we'll go through how to solve the problem and display the combinations that give the final answer. So we have a set of 4, and we want to choose 3 people of the set of 4, and we find these 4 combinations. So this is a brief example of how we encourage the lesson plan is executed. You kind of go through the process of explaining formulas, definitions, giving an example that you work through with the class, and then you send the class out on their own to solve a problem with their peers in a problem-solving session, and then come back and go through the solution together. We're hoping that the impact of our project is a ready-to-execute lesson plan for a professor to teach these topics to their students. To measure the effectiveness of our project, we polled the students after using this lesson plan to teach these concepts. We just sent out a brief Google Forms poll with 6 questions that asked how the students felt about the lesson. We tried to focus on accessibility, learning outcomes, and engagement with the questions in the poll. And overall, the poll turned out pretty well, and the students kind of rated it on average like 4 out of 5 stars. So our RLO, I would say, is a success.